I think this is what I love about this work, David, is because I see so many changes in the horse emotionally, physically, spiritually, and it just makes my heart happy. But I also just love helping horses in a very gentle way. I mean, there's so many different ways you can help them, like you mentioned, osteopath. I have nothing against that. Uh, Training, natural training, I have nothing against that. I think they deserve whatever is going to help them, you know.
To me, it's
So,
all additive, a holistic approach.
yeah. So, if somebody wants to do a massage for the horse, that's great. But myofascial release is a total different approach, and it works on a really deep level. So that can be incorporated with the massage. That can be incorporated with acupuncture. I have no problem with that.
John Barnes, myofascial release.
Yeah. Huh? What?
John Barnes,
Of
myofascial
course, John
release.
Barnes myofascial. Let me clarify that. This is definitely not Walking. But I just love the work.
So, just as a note, you can see what the horse is doing when she's not touching him. Basically, nothing. And when she starts working with him, he changes and he's very becomes very expressive. He's basically expressing what he's feeling and also interacting with what she's doing. So to me, it's hard to see anything going on because nothing's really going on, but there's tremendous things going on, and we see that he expresses that to us. I don't know how else to put it, but to me, it's clear that things are going on.
He's like, yeah,
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 because this is what you see when nothing's happening. Now,
yeah.
and you'll see when she starts to touch him again and work with him.
Well, we never know, I mean, this side may not, he
Oh
may
no,
not need
oh
that.
no, we do.
Okay, if you say so. Are you ready, Pappy? I don't like the name Poppy, so I'm gonna call you that. And they'll tell you, like him looking back at me, it's like, yeah, okay, that feels like the right spot.
Now you can
And as
see
soon
you can
as
see the interaction that begins right here. I haven't moved my orientation with respect to him, but he just expressed that he felt her right there. Now he's kind of experiencing it. Because he moved, I'm going to move back to the same orientation.
no,
No,
when he moves, he's kind of telling me when I place my hand somewhere, he's actually telling me where to go.
right.
When he moves away or moves back or forward. And now, David, he's kind of telling me, how he was moving a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then I place my hands in a certain area, but now I'm rotating them like a barrel roll, like I'm rolling a barrel away from him. Instead of pushing down and up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing towards the fence, and he's more stable in that position, right? He's not moving now. So this is how they communicate with you and tell you, oh, it's like, when you need your back scratched and nobody's around. Now, I usually tell people when they've had a myofascial release session with their horse, they're going through a lot of processing. It's just like when I do it on people. For 24 hours or longer, they're going through this process, and their body is re um, aligning itself, the fascia's realigning itself, the brain is actually realigning itself, and its fears and its anxieties or whatever that. And so you need to give your horse at least 24 hours before you ride them or before you do anything, because they're kind of like, I've had people that they had the sweetest horse ever, and the next day their horse was a butthead because he was still trying to, the molecules and everything, trying to resettle in the body and emotionally. And so I just tell people, don't do anything after myofascial release with your horse. Don't do anything with yourself. Just relax and allow the process to take place. And so that's really important for people to remember that. And I would say the same thing even if you have chiropractic work or acupuncture. Don't ride your horse the same day. It's no different than us, when we've had adjustments or whatever we've had. Usually the therapist or whatever will say, don't do anything today, just rest, take a nice warm bath, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Your horse is no different than you. So in that case, he was like, okay, I'm done with that side.
Yeah, he basically, what I got from him during most of that was there's not a problem there.
Well, there was
not
a
a big
little,
one.
but
A
the
little
problem
one.
really what I feel, David, is that his hip was kind of rotated that way.
Okay.
And so what I was doing when I was pushing it this way, I was rotating that spine that way through the fascial system.
Okay.
And so one thing, okay, that's loosened up. Okay, I'm good. That's it. Because when I was on that side, did you notice he was really dropping that hip down to the ground? So that's a good thing for you to do is imagine the energy going that way. You're not actually pushing this 1,200 pound or whatever horse's butt that way. You're pushing the tissue that way, but not intentionally. You know what I mean? You're not like plowing through it. You're just letting it.
For me, it's just everything else. Pressure and release you apply is. In training, I always talk about try and find the least required to achieve what you want to achieve.
It's the same. Thank you. So for my myofascial release therapist friends, what David just said is like training. You find you. What did you say? I'm sorry. I'm not good at repeating what
you try to find the least amount of energy it takes to get what you want from the horse.
Did you hear what he said? The least amount of energy. So when it comes to people or horses, you don't need to push hard. You don't need to, dig in them or anything. You're looking for the least amount of pressure to change the tissue or change the behavior. And the reward is the release. And it's the same thing with myofascial release. The reward is the final release of their tissue and their mind of letting go. And one of my favorite, my master trainer, John Barnes, he's the one who trained us all. He's like 82 now. He said, tell yourself, I give myself permission to let go. And basically what we're doing is telling the horse, we give him permission to let go of whatever, because this guy's got some issues, had a kind of an interesting life. I'll let David share that with you. But the point is, he has a lot up here that's keeping him from performing. He's a wonderful horse. Oh, he's got the biggest heart ever. I can just feel it. But he has some things that are holding him up. So that's why David called me and said, maybe you can help him with your John Barnes stuff. I've worked with David's horses before, so we're hoping we can help Pappy.
I want to throw one other thing at you. The concept of the release.
Mm-hmm.
You put the least amount of pressure required, and the release is the reward. There's a step past that that is the greater reward than the release, and it's peace.
Yes.
Okay, so my objectives with training is to always, firstly, teach the horse the concept of peace, because to a prey animal, there is no concept. So I teach them what peace, the significance of peace. It's the most powerful thing we have to offer. And so...
And with people too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And with myofascial release, what she's talking about is putting the least pressure required to get the release, but the release itself is the first reward. The second reward is the peace that you experience. To be in a centered peace, constant state of peace, is the most wonderful, spiritually rewarding place to be. And you have to offer that. And if they've got all this baggage, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or even spiritual, if you can release that baggage, then you can offer the peace. And when they first experience the peace, it's the most wonderful thing you can carry around with you. So I'm going to add that beyond the release.
No, I'm glad.
There's a state of peace that can be maintained.
Yeah, exactly. That's what John Barnes talks about all the time. It's within us. It's with the animals. It's like, he tells amazing stories of wild animals he's helped, that we're not in a state of peace because of fear,
Most wild animals cannot be in a state of peace.
Yeah.
There's too much survival pressure.
But I'm just saying, it works. We have hearts that beat. We have bodies that move. We have a brain that creates things, whether it be fear, anxiety, or happiness. It's all within us, and it's no different with them. No different with them. All right, Pappy. I'm going to come back and see you again. I think we've had a lot of stuff done today. About an hour and a half of work. Oh my gosh, you made my day so amazing. Yes, you did. I'll go home the rest of the day and just be so happy because of Pappy.